Hi everyone. I'll just wait for a minute more and then we'll be starting with HTML and CSS. So I hope that we are already aware of HTML, CSS. If not, I'll walk you through all of the exercises that you need to be, taken up in your course with the students.
Sure, like we'll be having only HTML and CSS part, or we are also including JavaScript.
I'll do JavaScript tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll not be able to do it
Okay,
in
yes,
today's
yes.
time
Uh,
frame. So that's why.
sure. Mm, thank you.
So the first concepts that we'll take up would be the HTML concepts. All right. Mohan sir, do you want to say something?
No, no, just now join nothing.
All right. No worries. I hope we are aware of what is internet, what do we understand by internet, where the World Wide Web comes in. These are some basic terminologies that needs to be discussed with the students. Often students are confused with internet, World Wide Web. They do know about a thing called DNS, but they do not fully understand what DNS is. What do we understand by IP addresses? Okay, client server architectures. So whenever you start with your web dev discussion, please make sure that before delving into doing the programming stuff, you discuss about these common terminologies. When we talk about web development also, as it I'm not sure, I'll just take see here, discuss about what do we understand by web pages, what is a website, what is web development, how many kinds of web development are there, which kinds of applications that they can build in that. All right. Then what is a web application itself? How is it different from a basic website which is there? All right. See, every that theory part is all here. What is a web application, internet, World Wide Web? Then what is the difference between web application and website? Now comes your HTML part. Obviously, in here, I do not see DNS, IP address being mentioned, host name. Try to discuss those things as well because these students, they might not be aware of such, they might have heard those terms, but still a proper understanding of it might not be there. Just try to discuss those terms as well. Okay. And when we come to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, so we start with HTML. HTML, try to tell them what is the exactly the the full form of it, which is hypertext markup language, what hypertext stands for, what markup stands for, right? How does it fit into the web dev environment? Now, web dev had three things or three components it is made up of. HTML gives the layout or the structure to your, web application website. CSS is for styling purpose to make it, to beautify that, right? And your JS adds functionality to it. So these are some of the theories that you'll be discussing, like what are the features of HTML. Then comes the page structure of HTML. So each and every tag which is here, it has some importance, aligned to itself. Now, if you see a structure of a HTML, this is also your first activity or lab in this module, which is, I think this is your lab 10, right? Now here you need to make them understand what is the structure of your HTML page. When we do this doc type HTML, what do we understand by doc type HTML? Doc type tag. Anyone?
Document type, which tells you which version of HTML you are going to use.
All right. So how does it tell that this is an HTML5 version? So basically, it's not an HTML tag. It's an information that has been passed to the browser that the page that you're loading or you're seeing. It's an HTML document. But then again, the question comes here. We say that it is for HTML5 declarations. So HTML5 declaration, it will have a colon and doc type and also, space HTML would be written. Okay. So that is a HTML5 declaration to tell the browser that this is an HTML5 page. Then you have HTML element, which is also called the root element, and it is to wrap all the code within itself. Okay. Everything, whether it is your head, body, your titles, your paragraphs, list, whatever you will be creating, whatever will go inside the root element, which is the HTML itself. Okay. Then we have head and then we have body. What goes in the head? What goes in the head tag? So in head tag, we say that we put the metadata. Metadata means the data which is about the data itself. Okay, what it can be used to put the style elements. You can have title in it. You can have scripts in it. Some meta information about the author, about the document, about whatever the project is about. Everything. Even for search engine optimization as well, we put the keywords over here itself in the head. Then comes the body tag. Now in body, whatever you are enclosing inside the body tag is something that comes up on the screen. That whole front end that you see that has been designed inside what or inside which tag? Inside the body tag. Okay, so this is your first activity that wherein you'll have to explain about the structure of the HTML page. If I move you guys to my VS Code. So you can explain it from here itself, like meta. Meta is also a tag and it is for, defining the information related to the pages itself. Title, what is a title tag? So title is the page title, okay? So when you load the page, the tab name that comes, that is your title. Is this understood? This is very simple. You'll have to explain about this, okay? In your meta, currently you see set over there and UTF-8. That means a character encoding, documents character encoding, that in which form you're providing. For insensitive match of the string, we use UTF-8. Okay, it's also a valid encoding given for HTML5 documents. You can even go for ASCII cases as well. Okay, then the next one that you see meta name, it is for the viewport. Then the content is given over there. This contains the value for your, the name attribute depending on what has been used. Otherwise, apart from this, you also have HTTP equivalent. Okay. Uh, and many more. Exactly, many different kinds of attributes which goes into it, like the name attribute goes into it, that you can see over here. Name and content attributes, they are used together, which helps you to which helps to provide the documents metadata in terms of name value pairs. Okay, so with the name, you give the name, I mean, like for what information you're providing, for which, for what type, and then content, so you define the values for that over there. So it's a name value pair that goes over there. So that is the structure, what it looks like. The second activity that you'll be doing would be around, I'll just check what is the second lab act. That is using of the formatting tags. Okay, so there are many formatting tags in HTML. Any one of you, I hope HTML is something that you might have seen, previously. So any one of you who can tell me about the formatting tags which are there in HTML?
Bold,
Italic.
strong, emphasize.
Bold, italic, yes, emphasize, cool. So it's a very simple activity where you'll just have to explain. So you can go ahead with the slides and then you can come back over here. So on the slides as well, you'll see 1 minute. All right, so here, like we've talked about, heading tags. So H1 till H6, we have the headings, H1 being the most important heading, and H6 is the least important headings. Still, people would be under the impression that when we have styling to do, why we have these headings? What is the importance of using these heading tags in your documents? What is the importance you think is there for using these heading tags in our documents? Now, the same
It's
amount
like
of,
a
yeah, come again.
it's like a hierarchy, right? Like we'll be using only one H1 tag for the headings, and then subheadings we use H2. Like it goes on.
All right. But can't this task be done just using simple paragraphs and styling them above?
Yes, it can be.
But then what is the difference? But still, why do we use these headings and not go with the paragraph and styling?
It has some pre-styling as well, right? But
It
in
do have
paragraph,
pre-styling, yes. It is for this, these are also called as semantic elements. They carry a meaning around them that the browser can, understand to make the differences. Okay, so they have, these are the semantic elements. They have meaning around these tags. Okay, you can achieve the same thing using just normal paragraphs as well. Yeah, you can achieve the same thing using the normal paragraph and then styling. But then there is a thing called as semantic elements. Can someone tell me what exactly do we understand by semantic elements?
like the tag itself, it will be like meaningful tags, like header,
Mm-hmm.
footer,
Mm-hmm.
main, article.
Okay. So that is understood by the machine as well. Okay, so machine understands that this is a heading, this is a type 1 heading, this is a type 2 heading. And even to a human also it is understood. Also, they are kind of utilized much better in the optimization techniques, browser optimization techniques. So there also it is quite useful, they have and they carry some meaning around them. So then the next is when we talk about formatting tags. So there are many different kinds of formatting tags that you can apply and showcase to the students, like bold, again, italics, underline. strong, emphasis, ins is inserted, del is deleted, mark, subscript, superscript, small, big, pre. Now, here also there are a few semantic elements. They have some meaning around them that shows the browser that, they have some hierarchy over the other elements which are there. Like strong, these are kind of, high priority, you could say, or not priority, but they have the meaning, they are semantic elements. Okay, they are different from just a bold or an italic tag. Okay, now you need to implement this activity as well. So let me show you that. Not much, it's just the usage of these tags that we'll be seeing. Okay, now uh, all of the different tags we have put it over here. These, all of the examples, whatever lab exercises you have to do, they are already provided. You are most welcome to use those lab exercises. If anything extra that comes to you apart from that and you think that needs to be conveyed to the student and you have the time in your hand, you are you're most welcome to even include those things. Okay. Now, see here. We'll see BG color and all those things later. But then your B is for bold. It bolds the text. I is for it italicizes it. Pre means in whatever way you've put it here, it's going to come in the same pre-formatted, format over there. Mark, what is mark? What is mark?
It will highlight the text
Highlight the
Highlight.
text.
like marker.
Highlight. Then emphasize, it also emphasizes the text. Big is also for, to put it into a big format, the bold format, small for the small text. Delete means it's going to delete and, put a line through it. Insert means it shows that this text has been inserted in the place. Keyboard text. What is KBD? Keyboard text, what it does?
The font style will look like it is typed in the keyboard, old keyboard
Ah,
font.
yeah. So it's for the keyboard input and it, shows it, in kind of like a, what do we call it? Monospace font. Okay. So it comes in the default, monospace font. Then simple paragraph and those things. Okay. It is already saved. Let's see how it comes up on our screen. All right. So this is the bold, italic, pre-formatted. Then this was the marked one. This is your emphasized one. This is big, which actually increases the size from the root element. And this decreases the size from it. This deletes the text. Deletes the text does not mean that it's going to take it away from the screen, but it rather cuts it through. Then inserted text looks like this, like an underlined one. Then this is into a monospaced font. And this is a simple, web page that was written over there. Okay. Any confusion so far? I hope that this is very simple topic. Any confusion that you think?
No. No.
So we've done formatting. Then you have formatting tags, which we've already seen these ones. Okay, so in there was not this one, which is subscript and superscript. Okay, subscript means if you want to write CO2, right? Like O2, you want to write O2. So there, what do you have? You have a, what do we have? Subscript, right?
Subscript.
If you want to do x square plus y square, there you will use the superscript. Okay, for raised one. Just a minute. The next thing which comes is to talk about lists. There are three kinds of lists in HTML: ordered, unordered, and description list. Ordered means a simple ordered list. It will have some order to follow. For example, you can include an example of writing an algorithm. So your algorithm has some steps, right? So there is a step one where you start the algorithm, step two to declare the variable, step three to, assign values to the variable, step four, and so on till the last step, which is the end of the algorithm. So each step in your algorithm is numbered. You cannot just go and end the algorithm first and then starting it at the end, right? So your order cannot be jumbled. So there is a sequence to it, right? For example, if you need to prepare something, you need to cook something, there is a recipe to it. That is also ordered, right? So first you need to chop the vegetables, then only you're going to cook them, or you cook them first or then you chop them, right? So that is your ordered list. So if anything like that needs to be done, where you need to see an ordered in it, there we follow the ordered list. Unordered list means, or a bulleted list as it's written over here, where you do not need to specify any order. Anything can be done in any whatsoever manner. For example, you are writing down or you're preparing a list for grocery shopping, right? So there, when you'll have to go to the supermarket, you'll have to buy everything. So you do not just number things or, prioritize things that, first I'm going to pick up the vegetables only, then I'll go to the pulses. Whatever you will find first, you're going to pick it up and you're going to put it in your basket. One example, right? So that is your unordered list where there is no definite set. Even if you go to, suppose you are creating a menu for your restaurant. There also, I don't think that we follow much of an order in that. It could be unordered, but yes, some definite pattern needs to be there. You can write tea, coffee, shakes in any order you want. It's not going to change, right? What you are offering. So unordered, it's kind of like where you do not have any specified order in which the certain number of tasks needs to be done or needs to be displayed here. Now, description list is what? What is a description list?
So it will create like heading and then para with some tab space.
Yeah, so it's more of like, giving you kind of key value pairs, right? There is a term, there is a value against it. So that is kind of like a description list, you know? So you have data terms and you have data definitions against it. Okay, you're describing something. So that is where your description list comes in. When you create ordered list, the tags that you need to keep in mind is OL, and for list items, it is LI. When you are creating a unordered list, for that, the tag that you need to enclose is UL, and the data has to be written in what? List item is LI again. When you start with your description list, the root element over here, you could say for description list is DL. For each data term that you'll write, that is DT, and for each data definition, it is DD. Okay, so it is DL, DT, and DD for description list. Then tables, I suppose you're already aware of. It is for displaying any tabular information, like for example, your timetable. Okay, so something like that in a tabular manner has to be created. We have tables in HTML. Okay, important, again, important tags in tables are table, tr, td, and th. Okay, so table is the, again, the parent element here, inside which you are going to put tr, td, th, those things. Tr is for the table rows, for each row that we see here as well. For each row, this row that you are creating, that is the work of tr. Okay, this is your td, which is table data. Th is the heading. Okay, so for example, now here this name age which is coming, that is the heading. So that heading has been achieved by th. Now it's not necessary that th only comes in the first row. Wherever you want to highlight the text, highlight the text as in means, you need to show it as in more of a heading format. you can apply th there. So it's not like that you can only have th in the first row, but even, maybe at the third row you want the Raj to be highlighted here, you enclose it in th. Okay, so that also works well. So that is a table. Attributes are, I think, then
Swati, can you repeat again? Can you repeat again?
yes, sir. From where?
From HTML, the table regarding the code, how the scripting is written.
Okay.
With
So,
the mentioned 50% and broader equal to 3, right? So
okay,
how
I
that's
hope that I think that there would be some activity on it. Acha, okay. No, no worries. I'll show. So first, whenever you are creating a table, you need to have a table tag. Okay. This is styling. When I'll move to styling, then I'll tell you exactly how. But this is styling that you are applying CSS to it. This how it's coming basically that. With the 50% means whatever is the parent element of it. With respect to that, you are putting the width as 50% for this table. Suppose this table is inside body itself, okay? No other element, just body, and you're just creating a table. So body is expanding to the 100% of your screen size, है ना? Your screen or your viewport is this much big. You are creating a table which is 50%. That means you are taking up half of the width. Okay, this much width for your table creation. Okay, that is what percentages means, which is respect to the parent element. Okay. Now with the 50% in border, that means the border that comes, once you create a table, it will not have any borders around it. So it will just appear as a simple text on the screen. Okay. If you want to show borders, you want to show different rows and columns, then we put this border property. And then in that case, you will see the borders coming. You'll see the borders coming like this. Okay. So name and age. All right. And then whatever is the data. So I have here we have th as table header. Okay. So that means this is the heading. So it will be a slight different from what the table data looks like. So it will be a slight bold, in a bold format. And then your simple, other data, which is filled through TD. Okay. That is here also in the output, you can see it as it is Smith and 50, which is the table data it's pulling for the cells. Okay. So for each row, so you are going to have how many TRs for how many rows you are specifying in it. You have 20 rows of data. That means you're going to have 20 TR elements. In each TR, you're going to have as many TDs as many fields are there to be filled. Okay. Understood now?
Yes, Swati.
Table attributes, like there is a border which we've seen, then cell spacing, cell padding, align. Okay. So here, cell spacing. Cell spacing is to add the space between the cells. As you can see here, this space between two cells, this is cell 1, this is cell 2, and the space which is generated, this is cell spacing. Okay, this is what cell spacing means. This is cell spacing. Cell padding means within a cell, you have some content written like ABC. The space between the content and the cell boundary, that is the padding. Okay, that is cell padding. Align is simple, right? It is to give the alignment where you want to, align this table. That is for alignment. Center, left, right, justify that. Okay, understood? There are two more attributes which are called as you can see here as well, row span and call span. When you want to combine two or more columns, in that case, we use call span. When you want to combine rows, two or more rows, there we use row span. Like in this example, 2, 1, this, this one. This is the example given by this. Okay, where you are doing TD row span. So you are spanning, you are combining, merging two rows together and giving one cell out. Okay, so here we have that example. Another row that we see where call span is 2 and 5, which is this one. So you are combining two columns. These are two columns, a separate column, and you've combined it to create one column. Okay, with the help of which property, which is called as call span property. Okay, so that is your TD attributes which are there. Now, how to put images on the web page? With the help of an image tag, img tag. It has src into it, it has alt into it. Src means where you provide the path of the image, and alt is for the alternative. Okay, sometimes what happens, your image is not being able to load on the browser. In that case, what should happen? So you can provide an alternative error message over there or something in your alt. Okay. And width and height is to set the width and height of the image. Otherwise, if the image is too large, it will go off the screen, or it's of the component itself. So okay. Then hyperlinks. Hyperlinks are what? Hyperlinks are what?
Redirect.
It helps us to redirect either on the same page to a different component or to another pages, right? So for that, we have anchor tags, okay, which is used to create these hyperlinks. So anchor tag is A. In href, we provide the link on which we want to redirect, and then the tags. Now these hyperlinks, they can be even applied to, images. It can be applied to, uh, if you have iframes, you can even apply to iframes. You can apply it to a text. I'm like, this hyperlink can be used in many, different ways. When we create nav bars, even there also we have hyperlinks, right? Sometimes you might have gone on different websites, right, where there is an nav bar. So if you click on home, you're redirected to home. If you click on contact, you're redirected to contact section of that website. So there also these hyperlinks are being utilized. Okay. There are a few attributes like the target attribute, which is there, and target is used to give the location, where you want to open this link content. So once you click on the link, right, so something will load up, right? Now, where you want that to load up? Do you want that content to load up on the same page or onto a new page? So that target, that is the target attribute that we have, which is used to do that activity. Okay. So there is self, blank, top, and parent. Few, values that you can provide. So for blank, self, top, and parent. Now self, top, and parent, they kind of work in a similar manner. Blank will open it in the new window. Okay. Title is for creating the tooltip text. So if you want to put a tooltip, I mean, like when you kind of hover on that link, then you'll see a tooltip, help kind of thing coming. So that is your title. Now you have the lab activity to create a hyperlink to redirect to another page. Okay. Now this also, let me walk you through this activity. Again, all of these things are already provided. You just have to go through it and implement with your students. It's a pretty big one, not big much, it is small only. Any confusion so far to anyone? Fine. Change this. All right. So I'll walk you through this. Let's just see what's the output coming for it. Reload the page. All right, images. I'll just be adding the images over here. 1 minute. So that is to show that you can even use your images as, hyperlink references. This one is images slash pandas. All right, so now let's see. See, this is the image that has been applied. This is how we can apply image using the image tag with src with the you know the link to the image. So if it is a local image, you have it in your system itself, so you're going to pass the path. If it is not on your system, you're picking it up from the internet, you can pass the entire URL over here with width, height, and alternative text. Okay. Then you have this hyperlink reference of Google applied on it. So if I click on it, you'll see I have been opening Google in the same, tab. Okay. And how have we applied it? Just in, you open this anchor tag in href, whatever is the link you want to provide, you provide the link. Then in place of, where we close, there we are giving, an image over here. That means the image is provided as a link. Okay. And when we click on it, we are redirected to the page. We are opening it by default into the self, okay, in the same tab. All right. Then again, you can check for another one, which is href target blank university. So here university has been created as a link. So if we'll come back here again, this university. See, the same page has been opened up, but in a different tab, right? It is the same page, but it has now been opened up in a different tab. That is how have we done it? With the help of the blank attribute. All right. Then another that you have is send email. This is for mail to. Okay, this will open your mailing system on your screen. On your system, sorry. So this is the mail to. Okay, so using anchor tag only, but in href we use this attribute, which is mail to, and you can put this is a mailing, basically, how we can send mails and create mailing links from here itself. You might have seen in some of the portfolios shared by people, for their mails, they have this send an email. So when you click on it, you are redirected to your email account, and there it auto fills their, to basically, information, their mailing address. So that is how we achieve that. This is a simple hyperlink reference. This is also a simple hyperlink reference. All right. Then this is to target to and go to a new page. Currently, we do not have a new page here and as an GSP or an ASP phase See, so that's why it will give you an error because there is no such page that exists. But if there is a page, you know, then in that manner it is going to transfer it or redirect to the another or the to the new page. All right. Understood this one?
Yes. Swati, we need to share the code to the students, or they will do parallel with us. What
You are going to do that. I
in
mean, like
parallel?
you are going to write this code and show to them, right? So
But it will take more time, right? I guess so.
it takes time a little bit, but you have these resources to yourself, so you can, I mean, like, find ways of how you can work with it. So it will take time. You will have to write for them. So they, because it is hands-on, so try to explain more and more things, through an hands-on activity. All right, just a minute. Means in my sessions when I do, so I write, all of this stuff, and also while explaining itself. So when we'll do the hands-on, they'll be able to understand much better. So you write it down in
Is
the
this going to
sessions.
visible for the backbencher students? The script which I'm writing in the. Oh, I think it.
I hope there would be projector or something, right?
But still, it. I'm expecting that it can't be visible to all the students. Typo error will be most of the cases will be the students.
Uh, See, one-on-one, I mean, like when you'll be in that kind of offline session, then you'll understand how it, happens well. But from my knowledge, it will go well, you will be doing it on your end and there will be a projector and that is visible to each and everyone. So it used to be visible to me also when we were in college. So, so I think it will plan out. Mohan, matlab it will go well. So they
Okay,
will be able to see this because we cannot just hand them the code. They have the self practice kind of exercises, right? So that you will give after you're done with your demonstration. But apart from that, this needs to be demonstrated. Once you walk them through the PPT and everything, then you'll have to write it down and show them, how things are happening.
correct.
Okay, so we've done till
Tagging, HTML read link hyperlink.
this one, right? Now it is about forms. So now you'll have to talk about form creations, why forms are important, how where they might have seen these forms come up and it actually appears with each and every website now that we visit. Fill in your
Correct.
details. Even if I go to any educational website, want to study, first thing they want is my information. So talk about those kinds of pointers that how forms are kind of a new way of collecting data through digital age, and what are the different things, what are the different attributes in forms. So the basic, the first tag that you need in a form is a form itself to indicate that it's a form that you're building. And in that you have different attributes as in being listed out here, right? Action, method, encoding type, target, name, and ID. Action is that after when we submit the form, where the data will be redirected or, saved to. So that is the action tag attribute for it. Then you have method. So what kind of method you are using to send the data forward, either get method or post method. You can ask for differences between get and post method also. These are HTTP methods. Which one is safer to use? Okay, that also can be one question. Then target again, you know, when you are redirecting on the next page, what needs to be done. Okay. Excuse me. All right. Then encoding type. That is for the encoding type of your own form itself, which is provided the format of the data which is there. Then the target we've talked about. Then what is the name of the form if you want to give any, and any ID to the form for, you know, further styling or processing on the form if required. All right. So some attributes that are actually used with forms a lot, and once you'll start using it along with, you know, the backend processing, then you'll use action and method a lot. Okay. And the name and ID is also used for this purpose only to handle the form, basically handling, you know, which is done through JS. Then a few sub tags inside it. The first sub tag that you'll be using a lot inside a form is an input tag, which is to take input from the user. And then the type it changes in it. Okay, whether it is text, it is password, it is number, radio, checkbox, file, submit, reset. So all those things also changes, okay, in it. So text means if you just want to create a simple text box. Password is for a password field. It also comes in an encrypted manner itself. Then you have a number, you know, so for the number field, if you're taking any, you know, kind of like age, if you're taking. So you, even in the HTML5, we have date, time, email, everything, all those kinds of types has also been included. Then if you want to create a drop down list in your form, like if there is a drop down and you want to select something from it, like a country drop down. So for that, we use a select tag. And for each option that is there, we provide, you know, the option in the drop down as option. Okay. Then if you want to create a comment box or a text box, which is bigger in size, we have text area for that. If you want to create buttons, you have button. Okay, but you can even create button through an input tag. All right. Now the activity involves you to create a registration form to demonstrate each and everything. Here in this activity, you will be building a registration form in which you will be using a table format as well as making use of all the form, you know, inputs which are there. Okay.
Uh,
So yes, Mohan.
Swati, what are the common mistakes which will be done on this particular topic, raised forms by students? Go
By
back,
student mistakes means?
go back. Yeah, next, previous one. Yes. So I'm asking what are the possible ways the students can do mistakes? Where are the possibility ways?
Students can do mistakes. Sometimes they do get confused how to create check boxes and you know, drop downs. The common mistakes that will come in with HTML5, they'll be using the type text for each and every input, you know, that they are going to take. And then they are going to do form validation from JS only and not before. Even here, you can use those attributes which are provided for the type, you know, like in HTML5, email, date, time, the audio, video, image, file type even is provided. So you can use those, you know, instead of just taking a normal type text box. So you can make sure to tell them that there are different kinds of type, you know, provided for the input uh, tag which is there.
Okay.
All right. Then here you'll have to create a registration form, which would be in a tabular form. And so that means we'll be making use of tables. It is all much provided. I'll again show it to you, and in a very good format it has been given. Um, and also it makes use of almost all the inputs, you know. So just a minute. All right, I'm just sharing the screen to show it. See, this is a registration form that you will be developing to showcase this activity. It is in a tabular format. It makes use of table, TR, TDs. On one end, you have all of the, the titles or the labels. And here are the input boxes. This is a drop down. This is a drop down. This is also a drop down. Again a drop down, sometimes now the question arises and it will come to the students that if I have visited forms online and I've seen that in state it has all the states which are there, all the cities which are there in India, how can I do that? So that is handled through coding, okay, through programming. So if they want to do it here, then they'll be adding so many, I mean like 26 options alone for that. So I do not want to handle it that way. That is my own personal thing that I've seen, and when I've worked, when I do that development, so I do not take those things here itself. Here you can give 4 to 5 examples, but if you have to include 40 cities, 30 cities, 60 cities, all of these cities which are there in India, you're not going to create different options for that. That is handled through DB as well as through programming. Okay, so you are going to create a DB wherein, in a table, you are going to have all the cities, and then we get that data populated here, or you use APIs to fetch that data over here. Okay, it is not a simple task that you keep on writing options here, but that is done through this select and option only, but only a little bit changes that comes in there. Okay, that is the later part for them to know. So, but that question is very common. That is asked generally by everyone. See, I see only, 4 things over here. If I want to populate everything, how will I do that? You will do either an API fetch, you will do it either from DB and, simple coding. This is a submit, this is a reset. And if we'll go and see at the code here, the entire code has been developed because it is in a tabular format. So it has been taken the form. We start with table. Yes, Mohan sir, do you want to say something?
No, continue.
Acha, all right. So then obviously form. So it's a form. So you start with form. You want to put it in a tabular format. So you start with table. Any kind of styling you want to provide, you can give that styling here itself to the table. And then you start, then you need to understand. I hope, I mean, like you need to understand what is the layout, looks like. So there is one row which only has student registration form. Then the other has name and the input tag. So let's see those as well here. So one row is done. Okay, so this is one row which has student registration form, which is into the center. So these which are coming on VS Code as red, that means these are deprecated. They'll still work, but they are deprecated from HTML. Okay, but you can still work with them. Now TR, then the next row which is there, which is for the name and the input type. Okay, which is this. Then again, father name and input type. Then postal address. then postal address, then the radio buttons for the sex that we've created, for male, female, that is a radio button. So the type there changes, which becomes type radio. Okay. Now here, important to remember, when you create radio buttons, you create these check boxes. From the backend handling, you would need these names and values there. Okay. So give these name and values as well over here. Okay. Then this is your drop down. This is a drop down. So how we have created a drop down, select name, city. This is a drop down list that whatever they've written over there. And then the options. Now this one, -1 selected means, -1 you do not worry. Selected means this is the selected value that will come on the screen. Okay. The first value which come. That means this is the by default selected value. So that's why selected is an attribute here that you've put. And then the different values for each and every option that you've given. Same goes for all the select statements which are there. Okay. Then you have pin code. Okay. Email, date of birth. Here they're not using date or something like that, but you can go ahead and use. Now, when you put type email, it will not take any other kind of input for email. Only a valid email format will come. And that is the thing. When you give mobile number and here we give phone. Okay. So that means it's only going to take the phone number for it. So you can put those things here as well. Again, show it to your students in the session. Okay. Then it's only a reset. And matlab the type is a reset button that you've created, and then it's a reset button. So whatever you are going to fill in it, once you reset, so it will reset. Okay, that has already been provided by HTML. No other handling you need to do from there. Then a submit button. That's it. Okay. So this is the registration form that needs to be taken up. One last activity in HTML, I think that would be any confusion in this to anyone. I mean, like anywhere you're not able to, you did not understand how to take up in this in the session or anything regarding that. No, understood? Then the last topic that I'll be taking is to put media files, and also to create graphics. So graphics can be created using either Canva or SVG. Okay, so you can use SVG or Canva. So we'll see what has been provided in the lab and we'll take those activities. And audio multimedia means you can add audio files and video files, to on your web pages. So that is your audio and video that you can add on. To do that again, I'll show that. It is for adding graphics. It is for adding graphics on the graphics on your web pages. Okay, so for multimedia, let me check. Do you know about iframes? You can discuss iframes. Acha, okay. Iframes are basically used to create frame inside a frame. I mean, like it's, when we, how do I say? It kind of opens a new window inside the current window, you can say. So I'll show what an iframe also looks like. So iframe full form is inline frame. Okay. So here you'll see. First is if you want to embed any video, you have any video content and you want to put it on your screen, on your web pages. So for that, we have video tag that we use. You can set some width and height for it. You can provide controls. Controls means play, play, pause buttons. Styling is again CSS that you can put. Then after video, the important thing is source, source element, where you provide the source of the video. Okay, the source of the video. You can even pick the video online and you can give just the reference over here. Okay. I do not have the video, so that's why it's not loading up. So it's only coming as black over here. But if I have any video, I can go and choose and I'll put it over here in just a bit. Then it will show the video. This is the format of the video. Okay. So sometimes your browser do not recognize an MP4, then you can use an OGG kind of type as well over here. All right. Other in the similar manner, you can also embed audios over here. In the same manner, audio is also in, embedded. Okay, so audio is also done in the same manner. Here in audio, you do not necessarily require any width and height for that. Okay, it's just a simple playback which is coming. So that's why autoplay, that means it's going to play by itself. If the audio is there, it's going to play by itself in it. Okay.
Swati, in line number 8, what do you link, A link, V link?
Where are we seeing?
Line number 8.
Acha, okay, that is for the link, I mean like active link and just the link itself. If the link is active, that comes as an green, your link should come as an active link. So a link attribute is used to give the color to your link on the web pages. So if you have, links on the web pages, there are attributes for that as well. So even in CSS also you can handle that, but here in HTML you have links. So if it's a simple link and you're not providing any color, it will come into blue. Once the link is active, the link, it will turn into green. So it is for that purpose. And your V link, which is there, it is for the visited link. So once the link has been visited, you visited that link, then it turns to that particular color that you provide. So you might have seen that on websites even, unless you have visited any link, it comes as blue. Once you visited the link, it, turns either red or, it either turns purple in color, to show that this particular link has been visited. So these are the attributes for that. Even now these days, we also handle these link visiting through CSS. Okay, so there we have pseudo classes for that. So I hope if you have pseudo classes and elements in here, you will see these things over there too. Acha, so then audio. So audio also it takes source. Okay, so in source again, you provide the path to the particular audio where it is, and then type again. So the type means it specify what kind of audio it is. Then there is an iframe. As you can see, iframe is an inline frame. So you open uh how do I put it in a layman term? That you are opening a web page inside a web page, suppose. Okay, so you can even open an entire web page inside a web page, and that is done through iframes. Even when if you want to embed the YouTube videos, now if you'll go to YouTube and you try to embed it, so you get the code as an iframe only. So you can embed a YouTube video also as an iframe, because that's also an entire um, frame only that you're kind of putting inside another frame. So iframe is used for that purpose. So this is the multimedia that you're going to walk them through: video, audio, and iframe. Then after this, there is SVG that you will discuss with them. In SVG, it is about graphics, okay? That whether they want to, create something on the screen, like they want to create lines, they want to create rectangles, triangles, strokes, and that is done through SVG in HTML. It is for graphics. You can even use Canvas. So I think here it is only discussed SVG. I any confusion so far? Anything that you think that has been missed from your exercises? Hmm? No? Alrighty. Okay, all right. So something like this, it's only an example to show that you can create lines, you can create circles, you can create ellipses, even try rectangles. So for that we have rect, it's for the graphic purpose. And this has also been shown through an activity. You'll be walking them through each one of them one by one only. Like the first you can take up is the rectangle. And in rectangle, you can set for the width and height of the rectangle. Then you talk about filling, color in the rectangle. So the first rectangle that we see is the entire rectangle, that has been created. Okay. So if I walk you through even one by one into it. Okay. Just put it here for in just an example. So you'll see just a plain rectangle has come up, right? So it is for creating a rectangle. Now, if you want to go ahead and create a circle, so for circle, you have the circle command. Okay, or just sorry, circle command, I'm saying the circle thing. Okay, so you can go ahead and create a circle again in it with CX, CY, and radius. Okay, this is the center. CX, CY is the center, on X and Y for the circle. Then what is the radius? The stroke means the stroke, the outline of it. What is the width you want to keep, and which color you want to fill in. So you'll see a circle has come up. Okay. If you want to create a line, so you can even create a line in it. Now, when you create a line, you do x1, y1, because there are 2 points to define a line, right? X1 and y1 and x2 and y2. So you give that. And then again, obviously stroke. Stroke means the line stroke, which is there, okay? And the width of the line. All right. So we go ahead with that here. Okay, so it is actually coming over that particular circle. Color we can change. Okay. All right. So that is the line. I mean, like you can, put it somewhere else. You can change the coordinate and move it around. So that is all that you need to show to the students. Even a small activity, if once you're done with it, and you can even build a small something, from my own experience, I gave my previous batch a small activity on it. So I gave them to create a simple, teddy bear face using this SVGs only. So they did that, just a circle or an ellipse and two eyes on it and a little triangle nose, then a straight line. So you can give those kinds of activities to them as, after class or something that they can practice and work on. Okay. Then you have a polygon as well, so you can create a polygon, polyline, use these things. Ellipse, okay, so you can even create an ellipse. Let's see. Okay, so there is
Swati,
an ellipse. Yeah, yeah.
Swati, how to get help from these particular things? If you want to know something else also, how to get a help? Any documentation is there or any?
Something help. I mean, like that, there are references obviously provided at the end of your PPTs that you can go and visit and take help from there. So everything which is there, it's all provided online, right? But yes, if you want to know more about it and something, you can let me know. If I'll try to find more time in my schedule, and I can even tell these things to you in a more you know
Okay,
better manner in that time. But yes, these things are already available over there. So if you want to study about HTML SVGs, there is a lot more documentation which is provided. Now the projects, that simple kind of activities that you can provide in class, they're also available online with all the coding and everything. You just need to write it down. Simple activities to help them create, just to explain something. So maybe take an example of, creating a teddy bear face or smiley face, Christmas tree for SPGs, and they'll see that coming up. You can make something like that. One such activity which I remember is a greeting card activity, which was made through only, not here, it's from my own personal experience. And that was only through, HTML graphics. So you will find these kinds of small projects online as well. But if
okay,
but if you are not able to, you let me know and I'll provide resource or something.
please, please.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I'll wrap up over here as I have another session, and tomorrow when I'll join, after your cloud only, I'll take up a little bit more of, practicals which are left on CSS. And I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 are more left. We'll cover it tomorrow then. All right.
All right.
But if you have any problem anywhere, any one of you, please, you're most welcome to ask.
I think
Anything that you
block component is also left. Is it you are going to do tomorrow?
block component, I suppose it's not represented through any activity here right now. Okay.
Correct. Correct.
So that's the thing. So I'm more focusing on the labs right now. But block component, you can study the layout, different layouts for CSS. Okay. So different layout structures in CSS, and we can work on that. And there are two kinds of components that you can see into, which is a block and inline component. What are the differences in both of them? So basically आप div और span पढ़ोगे उसमें, ठीक है? फिर आप layouts के लिए flex और grid पढ़ोगे, लेकिन मुझे दिख नहीं रहा है. I do not see that has been covered over here, ना? That's the thing. Oh, Shri. अच्छा, 1 minute, guys. All right, everyone. If thank you so much, Jay. Thank you.
I tell you what happened.
Thanks. Yeah. Bye. Take care,
Bye
everyone.
bye.
We
Let's meet tomorrow then. Bye.
Bye.